Every night, when you close your eyes and drift off to sleep, something quietly extraordinary happens. Your sleeping mind begins to tell itself stories. Strange, vivid, sometimes beautiful, sometimes wonderfully odd little stories that we call dreams. Almost every person who has ever lived has had them, and yet, after thousands of years of wondering, here is the surprising part. Scientists still do not agree on why we dream at all. So, let us begin gently with what a dream actually is. A dream is simply an experience your brain creates all by itself while you are fast asleep. You might fly, or talk with someone you miss, or wander a house that does not exist. It can feel completely real while it lasts. And here's a lovely truth. Everyone dreams, even the people who are quite certain they never do. They have simply forgotten by morning. For most of history, people thought sleep was just a kind of switched-off stillness, an empty pause until morning. Then, in 1953, two researchers named Aserinsky and Kleitman noticed something small and strange. A sleeper's eyes were darting quickly back and forth beneath closed lids. They had found a special stage of sleep, and when they gently woke people from it, those people were almost always in the middle of a vivid dream. We now call that stage REM sleep, named for those rapid eye movements. During it, the sleeping brain lights up almost as busily as a waking one, even though the body lies still and calm. Our most vivid dreams happen here. But we have since learned something important. Dreams can drift through the quieter stages of sleep too, softer and hazier ones that we are far less likely to remember, so we do not only dream in REM. And forgetting is a huge part of the whole mystery. Most dreams slip away within minutes of waking, melting like morning mist before we can catch them. We may spend years of our lives dreaming and remember only the tiniest handful of it, which makes a dream a very slippery thing to study. It is gone almost the very moment we try to look at it. Which brings us to the real question, the one that has puzzled curious minds for centuries. Not what we dream, but why. Why would the brain bother to build these little nighttime worlds at all? Today, scientists have several thoughtful ideas, several competing hypotheses, and it is worth saying clearly right at the start, not a single one of them has been proven. So let us walk through them, gently, one by one. Long ago, the famous thinker Sigmund Freud offered an answer that almost everyone has heard of. He believed dreams were secret messages from a hidden part of the mind, disguised wishes quietly bubbling up while we sleep. It was a powerful idea, and it shaped how people thought for many decades, but it turned out to be very hard to test, and most scientists today no longer see it as the real explanation. Part of the trouble is this. A dream cannot be weighed or measured or held in your hand. A scientist can only study what you remember and describe after you wake up, never the dream itself. So researchers have to be clever and patient and very humble. That is a big reason the answers have stayed so wonderfully uncertain for such a long time. One of the first modern ideas arrived in the 1970s from two scientists named Hobson and McCarley. They suggested that during REM sleep, deep parts of the brain fire off bursts of more or less random signals. The upper thinking brain then does its very best to weave those scattered sparks into a story. By this idea, a dream is your mind doing its honest best to make sense of its own nighttime noise. Now, people sometimes hear that and decide dreams must be just meaningless static. But even the scientists who proposed this thought the weaving itself was telling. The way your mind stitches the chaos together, what it reaches for, what it fears, who it pictures, may still quietly reflect who you are. So even the random signals idea leaves a little gentle room for meaning. A second idea is all about memory. All through the night, while you sleep, your brain seems to sort through the day, keeping what matters, gently letting go of the rest, and filing your important memories away for safekeeping. Some researchers, like Robert Stickgold and Aaron Wamsley, wonder whether dreaming is part of that nightly sorting, the quiet feeling of a mind tidying its own shelves while you rest. And there is a tantalizing clue. In one experiment, people learned their way through a tricky maze, then took a nap. Those who happened to dream about the maze remembered it noticeably better afterward. In sleeping animals too, the brain seems to quietly replay the paths it walked that day. It is a real hint, but only a hint. Much of that replay happens in deep, dreamless sleep, so no one can yet say that dreaming itself does the filing. A third idea is perhaps the most comforting of all. Dreaming, especially in REM sleep, may act like a kind of gentle overnight therapy. The sleep scientist Matthew Walker noticed that during dreams the brain revisits the day's feelings while one of its main stress chemicals goes quiet. It is as if your mind replays what upset you, but in a calmer, safer place, softening the sharp edges by the time you wake. Again, a promising idea, still being tested. A fourth idea looks far back into our distant past. The researcher Antti Rehearsal suggested that dreams might be a safe rehearsal for danger, a kind of gentle nighttime fire drill. It could explain why fear is one of the most common feelings in dreams, and why children who have lived through frightening times tend to have more threatening ones. Practice for trouble, run safely while the body rests, though no one can prove it truly helped our ancestors survive. A fifth idea is warmer still. Notice how crowded your dreams are with other people, friends, family, strangers, whole conversations. Some of the same researchers propose that dreams might let us practice the tricky, lovely art of getting along, reading faces, mending bonds, rehearsing the social world. By this gentle view, a dream is a quiet little training ground for friendship itself. So which of all these ideas is the true one? Here is the honest, slightly wonderful reply. Perhaps several of them at once. The brain is rarely tidy. A single night of dreaming might sort your memories, soothe your feelings, and rehearse your fears and your friendships all together, gently, without ever choosing just one single job to do. Or, and scientists take this seriously too, perhaps dreaming has no single purpose at all. It might simply be what a resting, busy brain naturally does, the way an engine quietly hums even while it is idling. A beautiful, vivid side effect of a mind that never fully switches off. We honestly do not yet know which it is. And that is the truth at the very heart of this story. After all our science, all our instruments, all our careful experiments, there is still no agreement on why we dream. The leading ideas remain exactly that, ideas, hypotheses, gentle guesses being tested and argued over right now. It is one of the last great everyday mysteries, hiding quietly inside every single ordinary night. But not knowing why is not the same as knowing nothing at all. We do know that dreaming is real and universal and very old. We know it visits people in every country and every age. We know it is woven from our own memories and our own feelings. And we know that almost everyone everywhere drifts off each night and quietly begins to dream. And maybe that is the loveliest part of the whole thing. Every night, billions of sleeping minds slip quietly away into worlds of their own making, flying, falling, meeting, remembering, and not a single one of us can fully explain why. Few mysteries in all the world are so close to us, so ordinary, and so completely gently our own. So tonight, when you lie down and your thoughts begin to soften and blur, you can carry a small, friendly secret with you. You are about to do something that the cleverest scientists on Earth still cannot fully explain, and you will do it effortlessly, easily, the way you have done every single night of your whole life. We set out asking one simple question: why do we dream? And we end it gently with an honest shrug and a quiet smile. Perhaps the dream sorts your memories, perhaps it soothes your heart, or rehearses your fears, or practices your friendships. Perhaps it does all of these at once, or perhaps none of them. For now the answer stays just out of reach, glowing softly in the dark, and somehow that only makes the whole thing more wonderful. So sleep well and dream on.